Look into the camera. Hello everybody, Michael here, and it's been a while since I made a video. The last one was actually, I think like almost 3-4 weeks ago when I went to Barnes & Noble here in town to try to film some stuff for the book talk table that they had set up, and they very politely asked me to stop filming and that I should probably leave if I was going to keep filming. Anyway, you can check that video out if you want to know what I had to say about book talk and how authors are utilizing TikTok to promote their books. But with this video, I just wanted to give a little bit of an update as to what I've been working on the last couple weeks, and also talk about a marketing promotion that I did with BookBub this past weekend and why I think it's really important and what I hope to get out of it. So in terms of my books and what I've been working on, I finished the second draft of the second book in my Shiffy PI mystery series, which is going to be called Pray No More. That is currently in the hands of my copy editor. It's been with her for a couple weeks. I'm just waiting to get that back so I can put the final touches on it, get it out to my beta readers and get my Patreon members their early access copies before I then turn it loose to the rest of the world and make it available for Amazon. It is available for pre-order right now, and then the paperback will be available as we get closer to that official release date. But that's really what I've been waiting on in terms of my own writing projects. I do have a couple ideas for some stuff that I want to write. I'm jotting down some notes. I just need to pick one and then start writing my next book, which I'm pretty sure is not going to be in the Shiffy PI mystery series, but is going to be another more horror and supernatural novel, which I'm pretty excited about. But now let's talk about the main reason that I wanted to make this video. This past weekend, I was fortunate enough to have the first book in my Lance Brody series, which is called Dark Game, included in one of BookBub's featured deal emails. Now, if you don't know what BookBub is, they are basically the holy grail of ebook marketing. They have an entire web platform dedicated to showing readers what ebooks are currently on sale, which ones are discounted, whether that just be that they're on sale for $1 or $2, or books that are also being promoted as being completely free for a few days. And in addition to that, what they also have, and this is really what gets authors excited, they have daily emails that go out where they have their featured deal emails sent. And they have managed to amass just an absolutely huge audience. The number of email subscribers that BookBub has is by far the largest group of interested ebook readers out there. And I don't really know what BookBub has done differently than some of the other, ebook sale newsletter services out there, because there are some other good ones. There's stuff like Robin Reads and Fussy Librarian and Bargain Booksy and Free Booksy, and there's lots of other ones out there. You can Google them and find tons of them, and they all have their own merit. But for some reason, BookBub just seems to be so much bigger and, to be completely frank, better than all of the other ones. So this is what makes BookBub really exciting for authors, because if you decide that you want to put a book on sale or make it for free in the attempt to attract new readers to you, to a series, or even to standalone books, BookBub is really the best place to do it. So you can submit your book to them to be included in their featured deal email. And if you get accepted, you are going to have a really, really good few days of sales and reach a lot of new readers. But this is where we get to the tricky part. BookBub is pretty selective when it comes to actually approving or accepting your book for their featured deal. Now, you can go onto their website and you can read that, they only accept X amount of submissions because they're getting hundreds and maybe even thousands of submissions a day. And they'll tell you that they have a team of basically editors or marketing experts that are going through all the submissions and finding the right books for the right genres, for the right days at that time to be accepted and to have their featured deal booked. And it really is competitive. Now, I don't know exactly what their criteria is as to how the people at BookBub are deciding what books are going to be approved and when and why and how and all of that. But I do know it's extremely selective. I have submitted books for BookBub Featured Deals probably 50 times throughout the course of my author career over the last 6 or 7 years. And I think I've been accepted for maybe 3 or 4 over all that time. So, the selection rate is not very high. And it's not really just me. I mean, this is something you can see anybody talking about on any of your self-publishing forums, is how selective BookBub is. To the point that I know authors that are in some of the groups that I'm in that, sell millions and millions of copies of books and have the most professional presentation and the largest audiences and are making a ton of money, and you would think would be the ideal candidate that BookBub would want to feature in their emails. And they get rejected all the time too. But when you get that approval email from BookBub, it is definitely cause for celebration. That being said, BookBub is not cheap. If you do get accepted for a featured deal email, you're going to be paying a premium to have that marketing spot. And obviously some genres are going to be more expensive than others. The ones that have the highest numbers of readers subscribed to them are going to be the most expensive. And for me, writing in the horror genre and the supernatural suspense genre, mine tend to be a little less expensive than some of those higher ones. But at the same time, it is still a more expensive one-time fee for a marketing effort than anything else that I do with any of my social media advertising. But you're gonna feel confident knowing that if you spend that money, it's going to be well worth it when it comes to BookBub versus spending it on, let's say, Facebook ads or Amazon ads, where you might be paying for a whole bunch of clicks, but nobody's actually gonna buy the book. Okay, so let's circle back. Now that we know what BookBub is, let's talk about why I was more excited this go round than I have been in any of the previous times that I've gotten approved for a BookBub featured deal. The main reason is this is the first time that I've gotten approved for a featured deal with book one of my series. And there's no better place for a reader to start your series than the beginning. There is often times where if a reader sees a book that looks really good and they see that it's book 3 or 4 of a series and they don't really feel like going back and trying to read up to that point, or they don't even want to try to figure out if it's important to have read the previous books or if they can each be read as standalones. Sometimes readers just don't want to deal with that, and if it's not book 1, they're going to pass on it and maybe they'll come back to it at a later point in time. So having my featured deal be book 1, having the price set right to attract lots of readers, and letting them know this is the beginning, this is the best place to start, this was going to be really important for me because I've got 7 books in my Lance Brody series now, not to mention 2 short stories and a novella. So 9 total products that I might have the potential of a reader going all the way through if they decide to click on that book in their BookBub email, make the purchase, read it, and then like that book and want to go through some of the others. So the upside for revenue potential was absolutely higher this go round than it's ever been for the past with me when it comes to BookBub featured deals. You see, with my previous 2 BookBub featured deals for my Lance series, the first one was for book 2 in the series, and then the second one was for book 3. Now, when I had the one for book 2, I only had 3 books out in my series, so there wasn't a whole lot of room for read through. And when I got the one for book 3, it was actually an international deal only. So they didn't even serve to the US market, which is the biggest market. So my returns really weren't where I would have wanted them to be and was kind of disappointing. Now, if I ever get offered an international deal again from BookBub in the future, I'm definitely not going to say no because I just feel like any BookBub is better than no BookBub, but it's definitely a little disappointing when you see the international only option versus being able to serve all the marketplaces. So my BookBub featured deal for Dark Game ran this past Saturday. And because of the way that the Amazon algorithm seems to work, or so we think, nobody really understands the Amazon algorithm. There's a lot of experts that have taken lots of deep dives and really broken this thing down and run the analytics and have all sorts of really fascinating theories and numbers and ideas as to how this thing works. But if anybody tells you they know how it really works, they're probably lying. But what has seemed to have come up is a lot of people are now of the opinion that Amazon seems to favor books that can have sustained periods of sales versus one-day spikes of sales. Meaning if you can sell, 50 books one day, 50 books the next day, 50 books the next day, and 50 books the next day versus just selling 400 in one day, they're probably going to show you a little more favoritism in terms of getting that book in the algorithm, getting it popping up in people's recommended feeds, in those, recommended emails, stuff like that. So to kind of adhere to this strategy, my BookBub feature deal was on Saturday. I sent my own newsletter out on Thursday, letting some of my readers know that the book was on sale. I had a smaller newsletter service, which I believe was Robin Reads, go out on Friday. BookBub hit Saturday, and then I had another smaller one, which was Fussy Librarian, go out on Sunday. So I kind of had some smaller pushes on both sides of the BookBub email. And overall, over the course of that weekend, I sold about 600 copies of Dark Game at its sale price of 99 cents, which, if you know how the Amazon royalty rate scale works, if you're priced at 99 cents, you're only going to get 35% of that sale. So overall, even though I sold all those books this weekend, it really wasn't a lot of money in my pocket. But I did get some really good rankings across lots of different marketplaces: US, UK, Canada, and Australia. Top 1,000 for sure in all those. And I think I got up to top 500 in the Amazon store in the US and the UK, which is pretty cool. Definitely cool to get that high in the US store. And number one in several different of the categories that I was in across all those marketplaces. But you see, the main goal of this BookBub featured deal this weekend was not to make money off of the sale of the book that was actually on sale. The idea is now, basically, I almost want to make it serve as a loss leader. I'm getting book one and therefore advertising my whole series to a lot of readers that have potentially never seen it. And I picked up at least 600 people who are brand new to my Lance Brody series. So now, in terms of generating revenue, the real important period is going to be over the next week, 2, 3, maybe even 1 month, as people hopefully read book one and then start going through the rest of the series, not only in terms of just actually purchasing the ebooks, but also people that are maybe in Kindle Unlimited that are starting to see the books go up the charts, you know, as it gets through that Amazon algorithm, gets in front of their eyes as well. And I'm gonna hopefully be able to get a whole lot of readers that have never seen my series before and go a good way through it, hopefully go all the way through it. So in order to measure this, not really accurately, I guess, but to look at it as clear cut as I possibly can to see what kind of overall effect this BookBub featured deal for book one in my series is going to have, I have shut off all other social media advertising that I've been running, with the exception of one small, like $5 a day Facebook ad that I run to attract signups for my newsletter. I'm not doing any advertising that's directly meant to sell a book. I've turned off all my Facebook ads except for that one. I've turned off all my Amazon ads, and I'm not running any Facebook ads. Excuse me, not running any BookBub ads. So the whole idea is now, for the next, I'm going to give it at least 2 weeks of no ads being run for my Lance Brody series. I want to see what book sales look like, not only of book one, but more importantly, basically books 2 through 7, because I have a really good feeling that all the sales of books 2 through 7 and all the Kindle Unlimited page reads of books 2 through 7 that are going to come in over the next couple of weeks are more than likely going to be directly the result of people that bought the book or at least saw the book because of the results of that BookBub featured deal. So I'm pretty excited to see what the results are going to look like over the next couple weeks, and I will be making an update video to let you know what the sales look like after this certain period of time post BookBub featured deal. So if you're interested in seeing what happens with this little experiment of mine, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and hit that bell to get notified for new videos when they release in the future. And if you're writing any ebooks in a series, I definitely recommend trying to submit for some BookBub featured deals. Start with book one, obviously, but if that one doesn't get selected, go to book two, go to book three. Just keep submitting your series in a cycle, and eventually, hopefully, they'll select one and you can give this a shot yourself and reach some new readers. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button down below. It really does help me out. And again, subscribe to the channel if you want to see videos in the future. I am going to be releasing a teaser trailer for my new book here in the next couple weeks, and also doing a video of a live reading of the first chapter of that new book, Pray No More. So, got some good stuff coming. I will talk to you later. Bye.